Hi, welcome. We are with Brianna Stevens of the Eugene Schmuck Foundation. She is a current board member. I am Kara Maiko with the Tillamook County Pioneer. And today we are going to be talking about the Eugene Schmuck Foundation Manzanita Open, a fundraiser for North Tillamook County high school students who are looking to go into college. Without further ado, there's obviously so much more that they do, but let's let Brianna cover that because she is the pro here. So thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So how long have you been a board member?
So I've officially been on the board for, I think this is year two, I believe. But my father and my family have been very involved for a long time as volunteers. And my dad was also a board member, Dave Stevens, for many, many years. So as our family is wont to do, we all kind of pitch in and help. And so I've kind of been a part of it for longer than that for sure, but officially a board member for a couple of years now.
Fantastic. And where do you hail from?
From here, I was born and raised here in the Nehalem Valley. We own Manzanita Lumber on the corner there of 101, and so we've just been longtime residents and longtime golfers and supporters of the area.
Wonderful. So what drew you to join the board? Because there's definitely a step from volunteering to administration. What helped you make that leap?
Well, like I kind of said, it's not something I've really been a stranger to because I've helped so much with it in the past. It was kind of a natural transition. I'm passionate about helping your community and making things work and, volunteering and helping wherever I can. And, I know a lot, the board, I already basically knew everybody beforehand anyway. So it was just kind of a natural progression just to kind of step up and make it official, really. But I believe a lot in what the Eugene Schmuck Foundation stands for and what we do. So it's an honor to have been selected to be on the board, let alone, you know, speak for you today, speak for
Wonderful.
them today.
Yeah. Both. You're doing a bit of both. So, before we dive into the Manzanita Open and the details, why don't you tell me a little bit about what the foundation does, who it serves? I noted on your website that $1.7 million put back into the community over the course of its existence. What kind of projects does the Eugene Schmuck Foundation fund?
Well, so as a little bit of history, the Manzanita Open was started by former golf course owner Steve Erickson back in the day as kind of a fun community, as a just kind of a gathering deal, and then it kind of progressed into someone who was involved with the KEX radio station out in Portland kind of took it on a little bit and made it bigger and was raising a lot of money, but all that money or most of the money went back to Portland. And we were volunteering and helping to do a bunch of stuff, not me personally, but the board and community was. And a lot of that was getting sent out of the area. So Eugene Schmuck, who was a local avid golfer and philanthropist, said, "Hey, let's officially take this on, and we'll make it the Manzanita Open, and we'll keep it within North Tillamook County, and keep the money here going back into the community because it's a lot. It was mostly community members that were participating anyway. So thus the board was born, and what we do with the money is, I don't know exact percentage breakdown, but a big chunk goes to a scholarship, goes to actually 3 4-year, $1,500 per year scholarships for graduating seniors. And then also there's one-time alumni scholarship as well. I believe that's $1,500 as well. I can't exactly remember. I should know that. I'm on the committee for that,
It's
but
okay.
that's here nor there. Um, and actually, fun fact that scholarship applications are due at the end of this month. So if anybody's listening and wants to turn that in, you can find more information on the website as well, or they're available at the high school. Um, so the scholarship is a big deal. I think Eugene's biggest causes that he wanted to make sure that we focused on and gave back to was the kids for part of it. So we do the scholarship, and we also do a lot for the clubs like athletics and various organizations and whatnot always get money every year. But then we also give to I believe they call it the Grub Club and then the Child Program. And it's the ones that give money back towards making sure that they have food on the weekends and just various things like that. There's a great resource room program going on. And I believe those are the names. Forgive me if they're not. But anyway, so we make sure to give a lot to back to the kids and community, and also the food bank is a big one as well. We're big proponents of trying to um, you know, help out at where we can for those who may not want to be as public about the need that they have. We try to give a little bit more under the radar. Um, and it's not exclusively North Tillamook County. We also give to the Adventist Health System's hospice program. So that's definitely countywide, as well as it used to be called the Women's Resource Center. Now I believe it's called Tides of Change. Is
Yes,
that
it
correct?
is. That is
Yes,
correct.
yes. So we give to them. We give to I think altogether there's probably 30 different organizations and people that we give to. But anyway, I'll ask the question
Fantastic.
somewhere in there. But
Yeah, no, no, I think that was great. I asked you how what the money goes towards, and you nailed it. So,
yeah,
um,
yeah, it's a
fantastic
lot of
job.
different stuff. Yeah, and that's what's kind of fun about it too. Is it's whoever asks us, we'll take the application and give it a good looking over, whatnot too. But we try to make sure that we give our money back away. Make sure that it gets back poured back into the community. So a lot of the kids, a lot of the food programs, meals for seniors, both Rockaway and Nehalem organizations for that. A lot of stuff.
Fantastic. So
Yeah.
is your nonprofit a strictly fundraising organization, or do you have volunteers that go out and do other things within the community as well?
Mostly fundraising, I believe. Yeah, the Manzanita Open is our big deal. It's our big push every year. We raise quite a bit of money with that, and then also through donations as well. But it's typically about once a year that we go in and push and kind of pound the streets for donations and that kind of jazz. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Like
yeah.
if people wanted to get involved, is it better for them to speak with their pocketbook, or do you have people a need for people warm bodies?
Well, we always have a really great core of volunteers that help out at the tournament. So the tournament time is the biggest push for that. And we always want more volunteers and want more people involved, whatnot too. As far as you know, we kind of have our core board that's elected, and we kind of use that to, with the best of our abilities, give the money back out. But if anybody out there is interested in wanting to help more or want to be involved, by all means, contact us. We'll talk to you and say what's going on. We always love fresh blood.
Yes.
I know,
You sound spoken like a true nonprofit board member. Um,
right?
so let's get into a little bit about the open. You spoke a little bit about the history and why it was formed. What kinds of it's 3 days. Is there do people does can anybody participate? What's the deets?
Yeah. And we're kind of a unique golf tournament in that we are 3 days. A lot of times it's a one day, one shot, and then sometimes you'll do a dinner around it or whatever. I believe that's what the Budnick Foundation does, is they do a one time only, away you go. But ours is a little bit longer. And I think part of that is because it started from a bunch of golfers. So we have tee times you can sign up for, and it's 4 players, $50 each. You sign up and you get your name in the hat for door prizes and all kinds of stuff. But so it's you sign up for your tee time and you play, but it's open to the public. Anybody who wants to play can come play. You just have to sign up, which is again on the website, eugeneschmuckfoundation.org. Um, and yeah, and then we also have at the event that happens that weekend, we have for the first time since COVID, we are bringing back our food tent and our food court area. So we're going to have burgers and hot dogs, kind of a hangout spot. And we also have always had raffles going on, a lot of big packages and overnight trips and amazing gift baskets and all kinds of stuff for that. And then we also have a chipping and putting contest going on. We have what we call a cash board, so you can go and you put your name down, you pick, and then if your name gets drawn for a certain thing, you win
Love it.
cash money. Oh yeah,
Fun.
yeah,
Sign
yeah,
me up. um,
yeah.
yeah.
It's fun because there's just a lot going on, and it's kind of a fun community gathering atmosphere. Anybody who just
Yeah.
wants to swing on by at any point,
Oh my
Friday
gosh.
afternoon through Sunday
Did you
morning. So
was that intentional? Swing on
what's that?
by. Swing on by. Come on
I would
now.
love to say that it was, but sometimes it just happens naturally.
That was beautiful. Well, okay, so let's maybe let's see. We said when it is. How do people
Mhm.
sign up? We said the website, but is registration limited to a certain number of players? I'm guessing the spots are sign up fill out pretty
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah, that's the only thing is as far as tea times, we are limited to a certain amount. We we can kind of expand it a little bit more and start a little earlier on Friday, end a little later on Sunday if we need to, that kind of thing. But there are a few open spots up. I think as of this recording, I think we probably got 20, 25 spots left. And by spots, I mean tea time. So teams of four available. So it's definitely getting close though. But there's quite a few tea times each day. So there's definitely the repeat crews that come back every year. And there's a group of people, the Dindins and that family, and they have a whole bunch of people from Ireland and Scotland,
Oh my
and they come
gosh.
down and I believe they own a house in Cannon Beach or something like that. So they host it every year, and they come out and there's a lot of teams that show up and they come in their best Stuart Payne, like the old school golfing, with the Argyle socks and that kind of stuff. We should have a costume contest, is what we should have, or the best outfit, like a team prize, because there's some that really show out. It's pretty fun.
That's a great idea. You should absolutely do
Yeah.
that. Well, I
Yeah.
know I will be there at least covering the event.
Oh,
I
great.
My arm doesn't work, so I will not be golfing, but I
Yeah,
will be, yeah, I'll be cheering people on from the green
that's right.
or off the
What's
green.
kind
I
of
don't know.
Well, and that's
I
what's
don't
kind
know
of
the
fun about.
terms.
No, you're good. You're getting close. That's what's kind of fun about Manzanita Links and the golf course that we have there is that the first tee is boom right there. So all the food tents around it. So it's super nerve wracking as a golfer. So you just want to do well, but it's also super fun as a spectator as well because you get to cheer them on and see how everybody does. And it's very there's a kind of a fun atmosphere. Lots of talking. The food tent guys, when I get up, of course they choose to heckle me, but that's fine. I
Oh,
can take it. It's okay.
well, you're gonna have to show off your skills and to do a few holes in one.
Such
You
as
can
they are.
tell
That
I'm
would be great.
definitely a golf expert. I've thrown in at least 4 golf terms that I know are real.
That's great. Hey, listen, you caught the pun, and that was a
That's what
pretty good one,
matters.
you know?
Yeah.
You're
Um,
doing well.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna maybe pivot a little bit and talk about what the future of the foundation is, potentially goals. How much are you hoping to raise with this fundraiser?
That's a good question. It'll be an interesting year this year, because on average, I think over the years, so the Schmuck Foundation started really officially as ESF away from what it was before in 1997. So we've been going for a little while. And I think on average, we probably bring in, especially like in the last 10 years, we probably bring in about 80,000 per tournament. So our goal is to always hit 100. The last couple of years, despite the different protocols and the things that we had to keep away and do, and not having the food tent means less people. Also, last year the weather was absolutely horrendous, which does tend to happen. It's Oregon, it's the spring. We never know. We've played in pouring down rain. We've played in blistering hot weather as well. We're up for anything. People show up, they don't care. Um, but it's sorry, I lost my train of thought because of the
No,
weather and remembering
no,
how
that's
much rain there
totally
was
fine.
last year.
How much, your
Oh,
goal is
sorry.
100,000. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're
So in
good.
the last couple of years, I think especially because of who we are and that we do give money directly back to the community and keep things going, and it's varied. People have been very supportive and very giving. So I think the last couple of years we hit 90 something, I believe, which was great. Our goal is 100 just because, but honestly, it's it's mostly about trying to keep this event going, keep this board going because we are able to touch so many different organizations and people's lives through it. So it's more about the progressive, like you're just keeping it going, I guess, rather than we got to reach this goal or meet that. We just want to keep it happening,
That's
have a
me
good
that
time, give back to the
Yeah.
community.
That makes perfect sense because you're essentially just giving the money away anyway. There's no strict program goals. You don't have an
Yeah,
overhead administrative budget. It's all just
yeah,
passed through. So you have ambitions, but maybe not necessarily hard and fast goals.
totally. Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
We're a small town organization. We always, we're just in it to have a good time and to give back.
I love it.
Yeah.
Do any of the kids participate in this tournament?
Yeah, they do. We always, for many years, we have in a couple different ways. We have the football team usually comes and helps us set up the big tents and things like that. That's happened quite a bit in the past. And then we have had a couple, at least there's a few teams that show up that are like I know the Neah-Kah-Nie golf team is going to have one this year. there was definitely at least a couple of teams last year as well where the kids were participating, which is great. I mean, golf has had kind of an interesting history, and not to get into all that, but I think it was a great thing for this area during COVID because it was something that kids could still go out and do and be outside and
And
still
it
be
can still be a
active.
team sport. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you can go out on your own, but then you go together with your buddies and go do stuff. I mean, it was great. So I think that there was a little bit more growth in the area for the young people to want to be drawn to the game. And the Manzanita Lynx is super supportive of any youth that wants to go and play. They've got all kinds of deals, and they can borrow clubs and all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot there available, which has helped. Because you need more people golfing, more people in the area wanting to come out and do this. So
for
it's
sure.
been good.
Um, in terms of your own history, you said you grew up in the area. Were you familiar with the foundation while you were going to school, or is this something that you maybe picked up and learned about later?
No, I was familiar with it. Partially because of dad and mom being involved in volunteering, but also because of the scholarship every year. I have an older sister, and she applied. I think she got it one year too, and obviously my parents abstained when that happened. But anyway, um, it's just something we've all just kind of been aware of, especially me as a North Ender kid. Neah-Kah-Nie is kind of an interesting school district because it goes Manzanita to Bay City. So there's always the North End and the South End, everything else too. So it's real spread out. But me having lived in the Nehalem and Manzanita area all my life, it was and being a golfer as well from about junior high on, I knew about it, and I knew that they gave stuff back. Now it was interesting as an adult now and getting more involved with the board and seeing kind of the ins and outs, just how far the reach goes has been pretty cool. So I've enjoyed that part of it too. But yeah.
That brings up a great question. Well, I think it's great because I'm asking it, but have how many of the students who have received the foundation scholarship have come back to you and shown you what they've done with it?
Um well, we've definitely it's I guess it's kind of more of the small town thing is we know a lot of the
Right.
people. So you inevitably run into them different places, and we've been giving out this scholarship for a long time now, and there's been a lot of really of winners of the scholarship have gone on to some really cool things that really contribute to society and are good people out in the world. So it's been fun to see for sure.
That's incredible.
And the alumni scholarship too is kind of neat because it's you get a chance to kind of reconnect with people. If you've won the scholarship before, like you were a high school student who got the scholarship, you can't qualify for the alumni one. But if you're a new person trying to apply, that's kind of fun because it either is somebody from the school that we didn't know before, or it's somebody that we knew but weren't able to give it to at the time, and then they reapplied a few years later, or continue education, that kind of thing. It's nice to
Oh,
keep
that's
in touch with
great.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. And I did notice you have quite a few local sponsors, and just out of courtesy, I think it would make sense to maybe mention them since that's a huge part of it, and the business community is a huge part of what makes it
Oh,
successful.
absolutely.
So if you would
Yeah,
like
yeah,
to
yeah.
just give any shout outs, please feel free.
Oh my gosh, I don't wanna forget anybody, so
Oh, for
forgive me if
sure.
I do, but I know we get a lot of help from Manzanita Fresh Foods and Manzanita Grocery and Deli and Moeller Co-op and the Halem Food Mart. All of the grocery stores in the area, donate towards the food, and the Tillamook Cheese Factory as well. So basically all the food for the tournament, food and drink are covered. So that means
That's
we don't have
huge.
to pay for that. It's huge. So we don't have to pay for that, which means more money is earned. It goes right back into the pot. So they're great supporters. RTI has been a big supporter for many years. When it was Nahalem Tel and now is RTI. And shout out to Sue Christ because she's
Double
there
shout
almost.
out because she's always helpful every time
Oh
I
man,
call.
if
She's helpful
you
for
need anything,
everything.
just go to
Yeah.
Sue. But that whole crew over there, but Sue especially, she every year they always put together a for the last few years they've done a Yeti cooler, and then they just stuff it full of some kind of a theme of something. So it's been like barbecue one year, so they put almost a full grill in there, and they put tongs, and they put
Oh, I
stuff
love it.
for. I mean, it's crazy. So they always donate money and then also a really great prize for us as well. There's a lot of local realtors, and if you want a list, we have our Diamond Plus sponsors. So our bigger sponsors are on the website on the homepage. You can scroll down to the bottom and click on their logo, and it'll take you. If they have a link to a website, it will take you to their site as well, which is we always appreciate it. Go show them some love because they definitely are giving back to the community, which we really appreciate.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well, we're just about out of time, but if you have just a quick, why don't we recap the dates, who, what, when, where, why?
sure.
Eugene Schmuck Foundation, Manzanita Open, a fundraiser for local high school scholarships, and it will be happening May 19th, 2021st.
That's correct. Yep.
So
At
Friday,
the
Saturday, and
Manzanita
Sunday.
Links golf tournament or golf course here in
Perfect.
Manzanita. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Brianna. It was really lovely to have this conversation, and I'm glad that I got to learn so much about it. And I hope to see you at the actual open.
I appreciate you having us on. It's nice to be able to talk about it. We're always proud of what we do. We try to fly under the radar a little bit just to be able to kind of help people beside behind the scenes, but we definitely are out there doing good things. So it's nice to get to talk to somebody about it. And I look
Absolutely.
forward to seeing you at the tournament. I'll teach you any more golf terms you want to know. Just ask.
Please, please do. Thank you. I don't really know what a birdie is. Is it like what's the difference between a
That's when
birdie
you
and a bogey?
score because you have your par, you want to hit. Okay, so a hole, you should get four. Typically, four shots should be into the cup to when you putt everything else too. So if you make it in less, one less is a birdie, two less is an eagle. They're all named after birds. There's an albatross, I think, is what you call it. If you get three under, it's a whole thing. Don't ask me
Oh.
why, but it's a scoring thing.
Maybe because the golf balls fly. I'm
It's got to
guessing.
be. It's because it's
We've got
outside. You see
some
birds a lot. Beats
maybe I
me.
don't
I don't
know.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
who
you.
knows?
Thank you for that history lesson. Well,
Anytime.
I will, with that, I will say thank you to our audience. This has been the Tillamook County Pioneer speaking with Brianna Stevens of the Eugene Schmuck Foundation. And thank you so much for listening and attending.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yep. Mm, there it is. That's